cow here.
This will be a first call for cow calf, first call for cow calf to the holding area. Test, 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 test. Welcome to the Washington County Fair Breeding Beef Show. We are going to get started today. Our first class is going to be the cow-calf class. The wood chips in the beef stalls were donated by Hammis Brothers Sawmill of Ollie. The shavings in the show ring were donated by Joe Hosteller of 4H Wood Products. Our judge today is Dustin Hurlbut. Dustin is the CEO of the American Kiania Association. He grew up on an Angus and Simmental operation in Raymond, South Dakota. He was very active in showing and judging through 4-H and FFA and attended many state, regional, and national shows growing up. He and his wife, Jenna, along with their kids, Baylor and Maddie, also own and operate Hurlbut cattle raising and selling select show heifer and steer prospects every fall. Dustin and Jenna strongly believe there is no better place to raise kids than in the barn and on the road at shows. Dustin has judged showmanship contests at the National Junior Angus Show, the National Junior Shorthorn Show, steer showmanship at the American Royal, and Hoosier Beef Congress, to name a few. He is also judged at the American Royal, Dixie Nationals, North Dakota State Fair, and the Western Idaho State Fair. Dustin is excited to be here to work with the youth today.
I am excited to be here to work with your youth this evening in Washington County. Here's a great way to start with these cow-calf pairs. I chose the one to win the cow-calf pair division. She's real straight in her line. She gets out, she moves good, she's got a good hoof shape. She's really correct in her angles. She's putting a lot into that February heifer calf. Sure, we'd like to loosen her up a little bit in her rib shape and different things like that, but I think she's put so much into that calf, it's just a really good place to start. In second, I chose to go with the leveler from her hooks to her pins. She lays down in her tail head a little better. She's stouter when you get behind her. I'd like to square her up a little bit when she gets out and moves. She gets in a little bit at her hocks, but she's doing a really good job with that little June calf there. In the third hole, I went with the Hereford pair. She's really level in her lines. I just like to see her a little stronger right in that rib cage and her heart girth there. Maybe has a little bit too much chest to stand up any higher, but a real nice, productive cow-calf pair. And to round out the class, I went with the one that's a little more refined in her bone makeup, maybe not as long body and level from her hooks to her pins as to stand any higher today, but let's go ahead and give these kids a round of applause for a very good cow-calf class.
Our champion cow-calf was exhibited by Lauren McWhirter of the Franklin Cubs. Her award was sponsored by the Lenz Show Cattle, Brian and Ben Lenz. Reserve champion was exhibited by Sydney Williams of the Green Acres Club, and her award was sponsored by Schneider Family Farms. Those both also received a purple ribbon. Receiving a purple and third place to Canyon Peak of Line Creek Live Wires, and receiving a blue and fourth place goes to Adriana Campbell of Waco FFA. The class we have currently coming into the ring is the returning bucket bottle heifer class.
Hello everyone, my name is Jade Sheets and I'm serving as the Washington County Fair Queen. I am the 17-year-old daughter of Brad and Lynn Sheets, and I will be a senior this fall at Washington High School.
Hello, my name is Kenzie Miller. I am the 16-year-old daughter of Kevin and Brenda Miller. I will be a senior at Mid-Prairie High School this fall, and I am the Washington County 2024 Princess.
Hi everyone, my name's Maya Murphy. I'm the 17-year-old daughter of Michael and Marcy Murphy. I am your 2024 Washington County Fair Miss Congeniality, and I will be a senior this year at Washington High School.
Hello everyone, I'm Izzy Kalupa. I'm the 17-year-old daughter of Nate and Ann Kalupa, and I'm the Washington County Cattlemen's Beef Queen.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Lukuski. I'm the 17-year-old daughter of Jill Lukuski and the late Mark Lukuski, and I'm serving as the Washington County Beef Princess.
Here's a nice class of returning bucket calves from last year. There's not really an ideal one in here for me. I chose to go with the one that maybe has a little more rib shape to her, a little leveler in her top, gets out and moves good. To be honest with you, she's pushing a little bit too much condition for me. Get down in that chest, up over that top of the crest of her neck. But probably the most fault-free one once you kind of peel that condition off of her. And that's why she goes ahead and wins this class today. Next, the smoke-colored heifer, the white heifer, coming out in second. She wins over the third place one just structure-wise in my mind. She's nice in at her hoof, up into her knee, sets in her shoulder nice, and she's real level-made. Heifer rounding out the class, I think, for me, she's just a little straight in her shoulder from the point of her shoulder to the ground. She's fighting the halter a little bit today, but I still think that she's just a little too straight for me structural wise. Doesn't get out and flex that well when she gets and goes. So let's give those kids a round of applause.
The results of our returning bucket bottle heifer class, we had the champion receiving a purple, being exhibited by Zach Hotchkiss of Green Acres. The award for that class was sponsored by Chris and Tara Black. The reserve champion receiving a blue ribbon goes to Sydney Williams of Green Acres, with that award being sponsored by Schneider Family Farms. Third with a blue to Gatlin Ferrier of the Franklin Cubs. The next class we have coming into the ring is our produce heifer class. This is produce of a former heifer project that has been exhibited at the Washington County Fair.
I think it's a pretty neat way and pretty neat class that these are produce out of stuff that's come through this show ring in previous years. This one, when she hit the ring, she catches your eye instantly as soon as she stepped foot in. You just thought to yourself, they're going to have to get really, really good to get around this one in this class. And, you know, so you watch her a little more. She gets around, she gets out, she moves really well. Just an overall complete, real nice heifer. I really like that heifer there that wins this class. Young man's heifer that comes out in second probably follows the class winner as well as any of them in the class. She's starting to push a little bit of condition up over that crest of her neck and up down in that chest floor, but you know, we try and get these show heifers to do a lot of things, and every day has to be perfect, and every day we want them show ready when they go to the ring and all that, and sometimes we just need to back them down just a little bit. I think you clean that one up over the crest of that neck, she's more of a competitor in this class. And then these bottom two, this red heifer here, she's got a little more frame to her. She gets up in her top a little bit when she gets out and goes. She's fighting the halter. But just a real nice complete cow, good rib shape, stout when you get behind her. Then I'm going to end the class with this heifer here. Just a little shorter body, a little more moderate framed, again pushing a little bit of condition, but a real nice cow for this young lady. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause for this.
The results of the produce heifer class, we had our champion in the class with a purple ribbon going to Peyton Ford of the Mid-Prairie FFA. Peyton's awards were sponsored by Chris and Julie Janicek. There was also a $20 cash award by Lenz Show Cattle, Brian and Ben Lenz. The reserve champion in that class with receiving a purple ribbon goes to Tate Stumpf. And the award for that was sponsored by Schneider Family Farms. Third with a blue to Avery Janicek of the Dutch Creek Flyers. Fourth with a blue to Adriana Campbell of Waco FFA. Class we have currently coming into the ring is our Angus class. We do want to say thank you to KCTC for their generous gift of live streaming the shows. We really appreciate the time and effort they put into making sure that people who are not able to be at the fair are able to see our great shows at the Washington County Fair.
very challenging class of Angus heifers. We have some Aprils all the way to Februaries. You know, so you kind of run them in here and you look at them for what their age is and what you kind of think. And good ones come in all shapes and sizes, don't get me wrong. But I think this one that wins the class probably is the most complete for me. She's got an awesome hair coat and you get to studying her. Does she get a little tight in that heart? Yeah, she probably does. You know, does she break a little bit behind that shoulder? She probably does. But when she gets out and moves, she does it so free and so easily. She's soft in her pasterns. She gets out. She's nice fronted. You get around, there's some base width to her. Just, you know, I think a really good place to start this class with. Probably the heifer I was most torn by is the heifer in second. I really like that one. She's a March heifer. She's probably, for me, she might be a little moderate. She's probably not as long-bodied, long-spined from the top of her shoulder to the point of her hooks there, but she gets out, she moves good enough. Maybe not quite the authority that the class-winning heifer does, but again, another high quality Angus heifer in second. The heifer in third, when she hit the ring, I was like, holy cow, here's a powerhouse. You know, she gets out, you watch her move, she gets outside of her skeleton when she's coming at you in that front end. But she's put together really nice. She's long neck, she's level. Just structure-wise, this is where she falls in the third hole. Here's a heifer, if you really study them, you should really appreciate for how nice she is in that shoulder, how clean she is up and through that throat latch, how level. You know, you'd like to lay her tail head down a little bit and maybe give her a little more pounds to compete any higher. And then we run into the fifth place heifer. You know, I'd like to give her a little more rib shape. She gets out and moves good, but she'll be a great cow for the young man. Let's go ahead and give him a round of applause for a high-quality Angus class.
The results of the Angus heifer class, we had first with a purple, the champion, being shown by Emma Lyle. The award for that being sponsored by Irwin Farms. The second place, the reserve champion with a purple, goes to Gracie Hirschberger of the Lime Creek Live Wires. And the award for that is sponsored by Schneider Family Farms. Third place with a purple goes to Kinley Holmes of Lime Creek Live Wires. Fourth place with a blue to Blake Sheets of the Washington Go-Getter. Fifth with a blue to Nicholas Peck of the Lime Creek Live Wires. Currently coming into the ring, we have our red Angus class. We have two senior showmen in this class. We want to recognize Kara Longbine of the Highlanders, and we also want to recognize Blake Evans, sorry. So those two are senior 4-H'ers.
Real nice way to start the Red Angus heifer class. Just a real complete, solid, functional female. She's really nice in her head, down in through that neck. She's not pushing too much condition. She gets out, she moves good. She's got good feet under her. You get behind her, she's got good shape to her upper rib cage, and just a real complete way to start the Red Angus. The real decision in this class was between second and third. I chose to go the one that had a little better side profile. When you get back on the side view and look at them, you know, she's a little nicer up in that head, down into that shoulder. Probably a little wider at the pins than our third place heifer. Third place heifer, you know, she gets a little plainer up in her head, plainer up down through that chin, in that throat area, carrying a little bit of navel down under there, but just a real good cow. And then we rounded out the class with one that just needs a little more weight per day of age, a little more shape to her, but it'll be a really good cow on down the road. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause.
So our results of our Red Angus class, our champion with a purple was being exhibited by Blake Evans of the Washington FFA. The award for that class is sponsored by Keith and Penny Sweeting. The reserve champion was also exhibited by Blake Evans of the Washington FFA, receiving a purple. And the award for the reserve was sponsored by Schneider Family Farms. Third with a purple went to Lillian Eldridge of the Riverside Ramblers, and fourth with a blue to Kara Longbine of the Highlanders. Currently in the ring, we have our Simmental heifer class.
Real high quality class here. You can find good in every one of these all the way through. It's a shame that, you know, that you have to have a 4th, 5th, and 6th. But this is the way I see them. Here's a heifer that hits the ring real strong. You know, I've talked in the other classes, some of these are starting to push some condition and different things, and I know we're getting close to state fair, kind of the end point, and you know, you'll have to decide if you're going to make a fall run with them. I sure like this one just for the density. You get behind her, she's dense. You get beside her, she's deep ribbed, she's deep flanked. She gets out and she goes good. She's got nice feet, soft in her pasterns. Just a real good way to start for me. Kind of the second place heifer is more of the problem heifer for me. She profiles really nice. She's got a little bit of extra up in that, underneath that, in that throat latch. You get back, you study her, she profiles real nice. I'd like to set that tail head down just a little bit. And then for me, you get back, you look at her from her navel back into her udder. There's a lot of hair down there. They've done a really good job of making her look really deep flanked, but I think you get in and you study that. To me, I'd like to take some of that hair out there to expose that udder a little better, but just a real complete, solid heifer. Heifer in third, I had her in fourth to start with. She's been fighting the young man since she come in the ring, but he does get her stopped, and you look at her, she's deep ribbed, she's long bodied, she's moderate, she's nice in her chest, nice up in that neck. Kept them out here another 5-10 minutes. You might have talked me into moving her up one more spot. But just one that grows on you the longer she's out here. She's level from her hooks to her pins. You get behind her. She's stout, she's dense. That's a really good, complete animal. Young lady in fourth. She hits you real hard. Maybe pushing a little bit much in that chest, up in that crest a little bit, back into that shoulder. The reason I swapped them is I didn't think this one was as strong from the point of her shoulder to the front of her hooks as the heifer in third place. But here's another one that gets out. She looks like she's very easy doing. You get behind her, she's stout. She's got good shape, just going to be a great cow. Heifer in 5th. I'd like to lay that tail head down a little bit, maybe leave like right there in that loin into her hook. She's a little pinched when she gets out and moves, but another one that profiles really nice. She gets her ears forward. She's nice necked, has a lot of future, I think. In 30 days, she could be second in this class pretty easily, I think. A young man that rounds out the class, a heifer that just maybe got a little bit much navel for me, not as clean at an underline, goes back into that, into her, like change her a little bit in her hocks when she gets out and moves. Another one that pinches in her loin maybe when she gets out and moves. Going to be a great cow. There's a lot of good things about that one too. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause.
The results of our Simmental heifer class, we had first our champion with a purple being exhibited or being owned by Erica Thoman of the Highlanders. The award for that is sponsored by Shala Simmentals, Clint and Michelle Shala. Our reserve champion with a purple being exhibited by Charlotte Sarin of Mid-Prairie FFA. The award for that being sponsored by Schneider Family Farms. Third with a purple to Brock Fisher of the Mid-Prairie FFA. Fourth with a purple going to Adley Sweeting of the Riverside Ramblers. Fifth with a blue to Covert Griner of the Dutch Creek Flyers. And sixth with a blue to Mason Schneider of Green Acres. Next class we have coming into the ring is our Foundation Simmental class.
Really challenging class of heifers for me. We have all the way from March to senior yearling and October senior yearling. But I think I went with the one that I think has the most fault-free in the ring. Do I think she's probably big enough rib for being in October, and she's due in October? I don't know. We could stand and talk about it if you want to, and I would go either way on it. I just like to see a little more to this heifer. But when you get down to these first two here, you get behind them, and this one that I chose to win the class with is a little wider at her pins, a little nicer over her top, right across her hooks into her loin, up into the back of that shoulder. Just a real nice heifer. The reason I walked them the last time is I think this heifer, you get her out and you get her really moving. That left hock bothers me a little bit, that she doesn't just really flex it the way I really want to see it to be a dominant class winning heifer. But a real nice way to start this class. Young man in second. Here's another one of those heifers. The longer she's out here and the more he gets under control, the more you really appreciate that one. You know, you get her out, you start moving her, she pinches just ever a little bit up in that hook area, like that loin. Maybe pops up in her top a little bit when she gets out and moves. But just a real sound, functional cow for that young man. The heifer that you either have to win the class or be third goes third. You know, to me, she's just pushing too much condition. Is she going to go raise this young man a bull calf to sell to the neighbors for commercial production? Absolutely she is. That's a stout, powerful one, guys. But I think if you peel some of that condition out of there, I just don't know that the quality is quite there to be any higher in this class today. Heifer in fourth, another one, the longer she's out here, the more you appreciate her. She's really youthful and nice up in that head, lays into that shoulder, she's got really nice rib shape, gets out and moves, sound, functional female. Maybe not quite enough in her lower third and enough power when you get behind her to stand any higher. Heifer rounding out the class, you know, I'd like to get a little more swoop to her belly, maybe loosen her up in her pasterns a little bit, but another high quality one that's going to go on and raise a good calf for the young lady. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause.
Cal here, and I'm going to talk about KCTC's beefy broadband speeds. You can feast on the ultimate security experience. Monitor from anywhere, deter crime, and save money. KCTC offers a grade A premium menu of solutions, keeping you online, secured, and giving you the meat sweats. Plus, all new customers are entered to win a half a hog or a beef bundle. Don't stew on it. Visit kctc.net/beefybroadband.
With a purple to Lane Janicek of the Dutch Creek Flyers. Fourth with a purple to Mariah Christensen of Waco FFA. And fifth with a blue to Aubrey Campbell of Waco FFA. Next coming into the ring, we have our first class of all other breeds.
In this class, this smoke-colored heifer comes out, wins it pretty easily in my mind. She's stout any direction you look at her. She's very dimensional. She's big-footed. She's nice in that shoulder. She's level top. Just wins this class pretty easily. It'll be interesting to see her when she comes back in these other classes. Heifer in second, you know, you could do what you want in second and third. I chose to use the one that's a little more feminine up in that head and that neck. Lays back in that shoulder a little nicer. Probably has a little bit more shape to her belly than the heifer in third. A little nicer from her hooks to her pins. You know, I'd like to stouten her up a little bit. Heifer in third gets out. She gets up in her top a little bit. Probably not the rib shape, but going to be another good one for the young man. You know, it's hard on these June's, almost July heifer calves because they're at a year old, and we all know at a year old these cattle kind of go through an ugly stage in their growing point. But just another high quality class individuals. Let's give them a round of applause.
The results of our first class of all other breeds, we had first with a purple being exhibited by Covert Greiner of the Dutch Creek Flyers, second with a blue to Braden Clow of the Washington FFA, third with a blue to Nicholas Peck of the Lime Creek Live Wires. The next class we'll have coming into the ring will be our second class of all other breed heifers.
Here's another one of those classes. Like when the class-winning heifer hits the ring, she just draws you in. You get back, you study her on the move, she looks really good. You study her on the profile, she looks really good. She's level, she's dense from behind, she's got plenty of rib shape. That neck comes out the top side of that shoulder really nice. I think she profiles so nice, but she probably looks the best to me when she's on the move. Really high quality individual. The closer pair for me was in second and third. The red heifer is just so stout, so much muscle in her. When I walked him that last time, it was more for the second and third place decision. You want to criticize this one a little bit. You maybe want to loosen her up in her joints and those hocks in the back there when she gets out and moves a little bit. But she does it with big bone, big foot. She does it with authority. She's good enough moving for me. Just real complete. When she stops in profile, she looks really nice. Really good second place heifer. Heifer that kept growing on me the longer she was in here is this heifer in third. Beautiful silhouette heifer when you get back and look at her. They got that tail head laid in there really nice. When she gets and moves away from you, maybe not as powerful as I would like to see a breeding heifer. Maybe gets a little narrow base to stand any higher today, but again, another high quality in this AOB class. Probably the heifer that is more commercial driven of anything that we've seen today. She's long bodied, she's big bellied, got a little bit of navel underneath of her, but she gets out, she moves good. She's gonna go on and make a great cow for the young lady. Then the shorthorn colored one, the more you study this one, the more you like her. She's level when she gets out and moves, she's good in her feet. Maybe take those hocks a little tighter, make her look a little bigger. Now lower third, stouten her up a little bit, but another one that's just real complete, level, nice heifer. Then we get into a sixth place heifer. She's got a little bit of navel for me, but when you get back and you look at her, you get around behind her, she's got some muscle to her. She gets out, she moves good, just a little plainer made. And then to round out the class, we got one that I'd like to just give her a little more shape to that rib. Maybe open her up a little bit back in those pins to stand any higher today. Let's give them a round of applause for another high quality class.
We have a black Buick SUV, license plate IQC 492 west of the cattle barn that needs to be moved. A black Buick SUV, license plate IQC 492 west of the cattle barn that needs to be moved. The results of our second class of all other breeds, we had first with a purple going to Kinley Holmes of the Lime Creek Livewires, second with a purple to Rena Lyle of the Dutch Creek Flyers, third with a purple to Izzy Peterson of the Washington FFA, fourth with a purple to Ella Slaba of the Riverside Ramblers, fifth with a blue to Sydney Knievel of Mid-Prairie FFA, sixth with a blue to Braden Clow of Washington FFA, seventh with a red to Aubrey Campbell of Waco FFA. We're now going to do our championship drive for our all other breeds. Coming back into the ring for this, first place in Class 1, we had Covert Greiners. Second place in Class 1 went to Braden Clow. From Class 2, first place was exhibited by Kinley Holmes, and second place by Rena Lyle.
If you followed me at all today through this heifer show, you know that I talked structure quite a bit. I like them to get out, be able to move around the ring. I like them soft in their pasterns. They reach out and get real close to filling that front track. They don't have to fill the front track for me, because to me, if you got one that's full of muscle, that she's probably not going to reach out and get that front track every time. But you know, I also like them to look very ladylike, like nice in that shoulder, laid back in that knee, big middled. But most of all, just to get out and move freely, because you know, after the show ring, these cows are to go out and make it to 10, 12 years old, and that's when they start making money for you, really. And so longevity is big with me. I'm going to go ahead and I'll pick your champion heifer, and we'll pull the second place up, and we'll go ahead and get your reserve. But let's go ahead and give this group of kids a round of applause for this AOB division. It's very high quality. We just talked this second place one in class, but I just want to reiterate, in class, I said I didn't know if she got out and moved with enough flex in that, in those rear hocks, and you get her out here and you bring her around the ring. I'd like to soften her up in the pasterns a little bit, but that's not taking anything away from how stout and powerful that one is, how much nice rib shape she has. But today, for me, structural standpoint, I'm going to go ahead and use the young man for your reserve AOB.
Our champion, All Other Breeds, is exhibited today by Kinley Holmes. The award for that is sponsored by Nick and Janice Shala family. The reserve champion is exhibited by Covert Greiner, and the award for the reserve is sponsored by Schneider Family Farms.
Cal here, and I'm going to talk about KCTC's beefy broadband speeds. You can feast on the ultimate security experience. Monitor from anywhere, deter crime, and save money. KCTC offers a grade A premium menu of solutions, keeping you online, secured, and giving you the meat sweats. Plus, all new customers are entered to win a half a hog or a beef bundle. Don't stew on it. Visit kctc.net/beefybroadband.
Coming into the ring now, we have our commercial heifer class. Following that, we will be selecting the Supreme Breeding Heifer, the Reserve, and the top 5. Following that, we will go into showmanship.
Most challenging class of the day right here for me. At the end of the day, this one that wins the class probably does so, I'm not going to say easily, because you bring a different guy out here tomorrow and these top four will be different, I'll guarantee it. But I think the one that wins is better in her top when she gets out and moves. I think she's stronger in her top when she's on the side profile. She's nice in her neck. She's nice in her chest. She gets out and moves really good. The heifer in second here, the reason I went to the second hole with her is this one's super hairy, guys. She is. But I think when you get her on mover, that top is fit so good. And I really do think if you... she breaks behind that front shoulder in her top line, not as strong, but she's powerful. She's pushing some condition. She maybe, when she gets out and moving, she maybe gets outside her skeleton a little bit with that front end. Heifer in third is just kind of your meat and potatoes breeding heifer. Really level in her lines, nice headed, nice neck, nice chested, good rib shape, just a lot of nice pieces about her. That's why she doesn't have enough extras to stand any higher than she is today. Heifer in fourth, this one hits you really hard. She's just not my kind. She really isn't. I like them to look like breeding heifers a little more. I feel horrible for putting this one fourth, I really do, because this one is such a high quality and she has her place in the industry. It's just not my kind, guys. Next heifer coming out in fifth, just another meat and potatoes heifer, level in her lines, level from her hooks to her pins, got a nice rib cage shape to her. Gets out and moves nice, just maybe not the extras that the four in front of her have to stand any higher. Then we have a heifer coming next that's giving the young lady a hard time out in the ring. But if you study her, I mean, she's another meat and potatoes type. She's level in her top, she's fighting that halter. Just a really good commercial heifer. Young man's white heifer, another one of them, level from her hooks to her pins, moves out really nice, just not enough rib shape when you get in behind her to stand any higher. And then the young lady rounding out the class, I understand she is the youngest heifer in the class by quite a ways, but you know, for me, she's not feminine enough in her head, maybe doesn't move out soft enough in those pasterns to stand any higher in this class today. But again, it's going to be a great project for the young lady. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause.
The results of our commercial heifer class, we had first with a purple being exhibited by Keston Holmes of the Lime Creek Live Wires. The award for that is sponsored by Art and Sherry Sweeting family. The second place reserve with a purple went to Libby Seiko of the Horse and Pony Club. The award for reserve is sponsored by Schneider Family Farms. Third with a purple went to Gracie Hirschberger of the Lime Creek Live Wires. Fourth with a purple to Brock Thoman of the Highlanders. Fifth with a blue to Cole Troyer of the Lime Creek Live Wires. Sixth with a blue to Cale Schneider of the Franklin Cubs. Seventh with a blue to Jade Sheets of the Washington Go-Getters. And eighth with a blue to Emily Reiner of Crooked Creek. This will be a first call for senior showmanship also.
Cal here, and I'm going to talk about KCTC's beefy broadband speeds. You can feast on the ultimate security experience. Monitor from anywhere, deter crime, and save money. KCTC offers a grade A premium menu of solutions, keeping you online, secured, and giving you the meat sweats. Plus, all new customers are entered to win a half a hog or a beef bundle. Don't stew on it. Visit kctc.net/beefybroadband.
Well, we have a moment while we are getting everything lined up for our championship drive. Let's give all of our ring help and all the people who've been helping back in the barns a good round of applause of appreciation for all the work they've done. We're going to get started with our championship drive from our returning bucket bottle. Our champion was exhibited by Zach Hotchkiss. From our produce, the champion was shown by Peyton Ford. For Angus, our champion was shown by Emma Lyle. For Red Angus, our champion was shown by Blake Evans. Simmental, champion being exhibited by Erica Thoman. From the Foundation Simmental, being exhibited by Peyton Ford. Our All Other Breeds champion, Kinley Holmes. And our commercial heifer champion, Keston Holmes. Our Supreme Champion today will receive the following awards. Our Supreme Champion will receive their award from the Triple G Livestock. It's Leon Nolan and Nathan Greiner. They'll also receive a belt buckle, which is sponsored by Walker Livestock Trucking, a $50 cash award from Madeline's Coffee House. The Reserve Grand today will receive an award sponsored by John and Linda Colbert. The Reserve Grand Champion will also receive a $50 cash award from Boar Farms. The third overall award is sponsored by John and Linda Colbert, fourth overall by LCB Feeds, and fifth overall by LCB Feeds. The top 5 awards, overall awards, will be sponsored by the Washington County Cattlemen Association.
Let's start off by giving these exhibitors a round of applause for as high quality a set of cattle this is. There's no doubt in my mind that there's 3 or 4 out here that are going to go to state fair and be highly competitive for these young individuals. I'm not going to bore you with a long speech. What I'm going to tell you is I have a 9-year-old and I have one that turned 5 yesterday. We eat, breathe, and sleep in our show barn when I'm not doing my job as the CEO of the Keeney Association. But what I'm trying to say is we watch every feed scoop. We watch the feed pans twice a day. We know when they don't eat a half a scoop and we're wondering why aren't they doing it. We wonder when it gets hot, is it because of that? Do they need probiotic? We wonder. So my point is when every kid that come through that gate had the same chance to impress me with their heifer. They all had a fair shake at it. I'm very confident in my top 5 out here. But again, let's go ahead and give them a round of applause, and I'll go get you a champion, and we'll bring in the reserve, and we'll work our way down in through the top 5. Thank you, guys.
Our Supreme Champion is exhibited by Kinley Holmes, and that was out of the All Other Breeds class. The Reserve Grand was Erica Thoman, and that was out of the Simmental class. Our third place goes to Keston Holmes, and that was from the commercial. Our fourth place overall goes to Libby Seiko, and that was from the commercial division. And our fifth place overall to Emma Lyle with hers from the Angus division. To run through that one more time, our Supreme Champion was exhibited by Kinley Holmes. Our Reserve Grant by Erica Thoman. Our third place by Keston Holmes. Our fourth place by Libby Seiko. And our fifth place by Emma Lyle. Let's give all these exhibitors one more round of applause as they leave the ring. the holding area also. Intermediates for showmanship, please come to the holding area at this time.
Let's give these senior showmen a round of applause for sticking it out, coming back out here. Showmanship's something that I take very seriously, and we do in our family. We work at it every day, just like many of you kids do as well, I'm sure. But, you know, I like it when you can walk your animal into it, do less with your show stick if you can. I like you being calm and cool and collected. I like it when you get out to the front of them a little bit. Don't get out there too far. I'm very traditional when it comes to showmanship. I like black show sticks, combs, boots, belts, the whole 9 yards. But I think there's a handful of individuals out here that kind of sort themselves to the top very easily in my mind. They've done good all day showing their animals. That's the other thing I like about doing showmanship at the end. You know, me personally, when I'm judging, I do pay attention to the showmanship all day long. And so I see when you get frustrated earlier in the day. I see when you don't. I see when you help the person in front of you. I see when you don't. But that's just me. That's just little things that I pick up on because I think showmanship's very important. Because I think you can take an animal, if you're a good stick person, and make them way better than they really are, and you can hide their faults. So with that being said, I'm going to go get you a champion and a reserve champion senior showman. One last time, let's go ahead and give these young people a round of applause.
Our champion senior showman today is Izzy Peterson. The award for senior showmanship is sponsored by Horning Repair. Our reserve champion goes to Brock Thoman, whose award is sponsored by Schneider Family Farms. Currently coming into the ring, we have our intermediate showmanship class.
Here's another great group of intermediate showmen. Stuck it out through the heat. These cattle have been up for a while. They're starting to get tired, starting to push them around a little bit. But what I appreciate is the kids that still stay positive and don't get worked up and still reach out and help the person in front of them and do some things like that when their animals stop. To me, you don't have to be perfect. And there's situations when the classes are bigger even, I could be down here looking at something and something could happen down there that you in the stand sees happen, but I don't. So with that being said, let's go ahead and give these kids a round of applause again for a great job, and I'll get you a couple champions.
Our champion intermediate showman today is Gracie Hirschberger, whose award is sponsored by Schneider Family Farms, and our intermediate reserve champion is Kinley Holmes, and the award for that is sponsored by Schneider Family Farms.
Let's give this group of youngsters a round of applause for sticking it out. You know, just like I said in the past, I didn't take time to talk to your seniors or your intermediates, but I wanted to talk to these junior kids because there's just little things that if they would change, that they'd probably win today. And I went along and just told them, they all five do a great job. You know, there's a couple of them that I'd like to see work a little bit better on eye contact. You know, for the most part, they all step them into it, pretty automatic on that part. There was one comb issue that I talked to a girl about, and tomorrow if there was a different judge, it'd probably be a different situation. But like I said, in the seniors, when it comes down to it, I take showmanship to heart, and I think that we need to take the time to teach these younger kids just the different ways and techniques as we're going along. So let's give them a round of applause again. I'll go get you a champion in reserve. Thank you, guys.
Our junior showmanship champion is Keston Holmes, and the award for that is sponsored by Powell Funeral Home. And then we have Cannon Peak, whose award is sponsored by Schneider Family Farms with Reserve. And that concludes our 2024 breeding beef show at the Washington County Fair.